I feel alive. I know inside that you would take it all away. I know the truth. I see through the lies, and I won't let you win again.
Okay, you ready, Tristan? Okay, let's start off with a little. Okay, let me put this down. There we go. Guys, welcome to the first episode of the Faithful Chat podcast. It's a big one for me. Obviously, being the first episode, we need a superstar of a guest, and definitely tossed and turned a little bit in deciding who I wanted. And then I came across a clip of this man sitting next to me, wearing that mighty black and white jersey in the number 10 jersey, and watching him play against Grey College, I knew straight away we have a superstar in our midst. And not going to say too much more. Welcome to Matthew Coetzee, our guest today. And welcome, Matt. Thank you so much for coming, my brother. Really appreciate it. So, for those of you who don't know, Matt is obviously a Jeppe boy. He's been playing rugby now in the first team for 3 years, and he's had some awesome achievements so far. Like I said, I contacted Matt about a week ago, and I was just absolutely starstruck by the way that this kid was so humble. Like, he's done incredible things with the rugby ball. And even my girlfriend, I was talking to her this morning, and she said, I can't believe how humble he is and how well spoken he is. And he kept calling me sir. I've had to convince him not to call me sir. But Matt, awesome to have you here. What we're going to do to start off with, right? We're going to start off with some rapid fire questions, just so that I can get to know you more. And so the first question we have here: coffee or tea?
I would say coffee.
Fair enough.
Tea.
Not for you.
No, I don't like tea. But
Fair enough.
no, coffee. But I would say like even none of them actually. But
Okay.
like if I had to choose one, I'll choose coffee.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cat or dog person?
No, I'm a dog person.
Fair
No,
enough.
I have 2 cats though, but no.
Okay, and then obviously you mentioned earlier your favorite sport outside of rugby was cricket.
Yeah, cricket.
So what is your favorite cricket team?
Are we talking about like okay, let's talk what internationally
You kind of have to say South Africa, right?
Yeah, I would have to say South Africa. But
okay, let's say favorite cricket player.
I would say probably AB de Villiers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, AB
Good
de
answer. Good answer. Okay, favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Oh goodness, I'm not a movie type of guy. I don't even watch movies. Like,
okay, geez. So next.
yeah, nothing comes to mind.
Favorite food?
I would say chicken schnitzel. Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna get into the deeper questions, right? Favorite subject at school?
Jeez. I would say history.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair
I'm
enough.
normally quite good at history.
Okay. Okay. Would you rather have a close Affies win this season, or would you rather have a very convincing Kes win,
Oh goodness.
like 50-0?
No, I would have a close Affies win.
It's a big one,
100%.
eh?
No,
It's
big
never been
one.
done before,
Never
right?
done before.
Well,
exactly.
the Grey College was also never done before, so it's a history making.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I would say early bird. I normally
Okay.
wake up really early, actually. So yeah.
Okay. Would you rather play a game of rugby in the rain or in the sun?
No way, sun.
Okay,
Sun all
fair
the time.
enough, eh?
Sun all the time.
Okay. And then let's have a big one here. So would you rather score a game-winning try, a 50-meter running try, or would you rather have a 50-meter drop kick to win the game?
A 50-meter drop kick,
That's a big
100%.
one. Okay, last question. Jeppe or Kes?
Jeppe.
I kind of had to say that one.
Jeppe.
Okay, so Matt, obviously it's such a pleasure to have you here today. And honestly, it's just a conversation. We're looking to get to know you more. You've obviously created a lot of buzz online. Everywhere I go, I seem to see you having kicks against Grey College. So it's just awesome to have you here. I've been wondering, what was your introduction into rugby?
I would say more. I was watching my brother because my brother's 5 years older than me.
Okay.
So I would watch him every Saturday. He would play for a club team, and I would just watch him on the sidelines every game. Me, my parents.
Yeah.
And I'd think like this could be my sport actually. Like it just seemed to me as it was gonna be the one. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Did you play in primary school?
I did. So I played Yeah, I played club rugby as well, the same club my brother played for, but I didn't enjoy it, so I stopped playing club rugby, and then I played primary school rugby since
Awesome.
grade 1.
And then when you're in grade 7, I'm sure you got a few offers to go to schools and whatever. What was it that drew you to Jeppe as a school?
My brothers.
So, did they go to Jeppe?
Yeah. So my
Awesome.
older brother went to Jeppe. He matriculated 2018. Yeah,
Okay.
2018.
Awesome.
Obviously, yeah. Everything like the brotherhood. Because I'd go and watch the games on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I would drive with my parents. We'd get there early. We'd watch the under 14s play and everything. So it was really nice, you know.
Awesome.
The brotherhood, the way they spoke to me, the Jeppe boys, it just seemed like that was a school for me.
So Matt, last night when I was preparing for this interview, I looked back at your grade college win that you guys had recently, and I just had to recount just to make sure. The final score was 22-19, right? And out of those 22 points, 17 points. Is that correct? 17 came off your boot. So it's just crazy. And obviously watching high school rugby, just to have so much confidence in your kicking ability. How did you develop this? Where did it come from?
Well, to be honest with you, this was the first shot I actually kicked.
What?
Yeah, I never kicked before.
It's crazy.
I never kicked before. I played 10, but like I always focused on other things, not kicking, and there were other people in my team that would kick for poles.
Yeah.
Because it is a nice thing to do.
100%.
But I never thought much of it, so I was like, okay, let someone else kick.
Yeah.
So I didn't kick, and then I think it was last year, my coach was like, at the end of the season, he was like, listen, Matt, you're gonna have to take over kicking duties next year.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, goodness, I've never practiced in my life actually.
Yeah.
So then that holiday, I grafted like a lot. My brothers would take me, Jordan and Boykie, they would take me to Involve Sports Club. I would train every Sunday kicking, making sure, taking videos, just making sure everything's perfect in a way. And then got to school this year, and yeah, it's going good so far, I guess.
There's this clip of you I saw the other day where you I don't know who made it, but it's like a compilation of you. And there's this thing, like this clip where you kick it and you look at the camera. I'm like, this is the most sick thing I've ever seen. So when it comes to getting ready to play games, do you have any like pre-game routines, any superstitions before a game? What do you do to get ready for a rugby match?
I wouldn't say like superstitions, but like I have a routine where I'd wake up early, 6 o'clock. Everything's ready by 7.
Yeah.
Go watch the under 14 A's play at 8 o'clock. Make sure like I've watched their game, just to make sure everything's okay in a way. And then I would go and just sit and watch like fourths, thirds play. Then we would normally go upstairs to the classrooms, get our pre-match meals.
Yeah.
Eat the pre-match meals, and then...
What is a pre-match meal? Like, what do you have?
So there's variations. We have a nutrition lady.
Okay.
She's amazing. She does a lot for us. I won't lie to you.
Yes.
She gives us options. So there's like a baguette with ham, cheese, mayo.
Yo.
There's like pesto pastas.
Jeepers.
So yeah, you have a whole variation, and no variety. Sorry.
Yeah.
You have a whole variety of stuff to choose from, and I don't like mayo.
Okay.
So she's a really nice person. So I asked her without mayo, and she's like, "Yeah, Matt, I'll do it for you." And I was like, "Okay."
She kind of has to.
Exactly.
You're the star flower. She has to keep you happy.
So yeah, so she's really nice. So we would get our pre-match meals, walk down to the change rooms, put my earphones in, listen to some music while I get changed.
Yeah.
Get changed, walk up to the physio room, get strapped, make sure I'm feeling confident in a way. Walk down, listen to music again, and then I'll go.
What kind of music are you listening to when you're getting ready for a game? Do you have a certain playlist that you turn to?
Yeah, there's a certain artist out there.
Okay. Who's your favorite artist?
Dave.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Dave.
Yeah.
So I listen to his album, and then go out and practice, warm up my kicking, because I'll go out 20 minutes early.
Okay. Yeah. Just to warm up.
Warm up the kicking, because kickers and hookers are out at 12 or something, whenever the time is. Then I'll go and practice my kicking, and then come back, and then I'm ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like, you don't have a thing like, I put my left boot on in front of me.
No.
That's awesome. You see, like a lot of sportsmen, I feel, they have these superstitions, right? But 100%. I feel like that's a way of paving over, like, I don't know, like they have doubt in a way. Because it's like, what happens if you don't do that? You know? Mm-hmm. Then like, are you going to have a bad game?
100%.
100%.
Exactly.
So
I get that,
that's awesome to hear. Getting on a bit of a more serious note, right? Obviously, you guys had this massive win against Grey College. So just quickly explain to everyone who doesn't know, what was the significance of this win? Like, why was it so big? Why was there so much buzz created around it? When I saw the highlights I don't really follow rugby, but it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And I was like, this is insane. So just explain to everyone, what is the significance of the win? And yeah.
I would say it was, for me personally, going into the game, I didn't think much of it. I won't lie to you. I take every game as another game.
Yeah.
So I don't, like, it was Grey College. It was just in the back of my head, really. Like, yeah, they're a good school, but you know what? They're also humans. We can beat them.
100%.
So I took it as that. And even after the game when we won, like, it didn't hit me yet. Like, it was really crazy, to be honest with you.
When you guys were celebrating on the field, right? Obviously, there's a clip of you guys and the boys ran onto the field. It's so cool. But did it hit you guys then that this is like so big? Did it hit you specifically?
When they all came on the field and they ran to me and everything happened, it hit me a bit.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, it's crazy because the things, it wasn't even about us. There was a bigger picture in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously we did it for Caden Bowie. We did it for like everyone that supported us in a way. Like, it just meant so much to us in a way. So yeah, I wouldn't say it hit me fully.
Yeah.
Because even after that, I went out for dinner with my family.
And it was just a normal.
It was like, I don't know.
Must have been a crazy feeling.
It was so weird.
And like, obviously it's a team sport, and you guys did what you guys. Obviously, it's not an individual sport, and even though you did score the 17 points from your boots and whatever, obviously it's a team sport, and everyone contributed towards the win. But looking back on the comments and stuff, just on social media, it's obviously clear to everyone that you had a very significant part to play in the win. So how did that make you feel, knowing that, geez, I've had 17 of these points, and it's just, how did that make you feel? Especially because it's your first year kicking, you said. So
yeah, no, it was nice hearing everyone speaking about me, I won't lie to you. But then, like, also I felt like everyone's praising me too much, like, the problem is, like, our team did everything. Like, I wouldn't have gotten 17 points if it wasn't for my team. You know what I mean?
100%.
So it was nice, I won't lie to you. Like, I took it all in.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was nice. But on the other hand, like, also my boys, they did so much as well to get me there.
100%. Perfect answer. I think that's what we were looking for. And then obviously you did mention that the win was dedicated to Caden Bowie. So obviously Mr. Jackson, he had a post that also went kind of viral, and he spoke about how the significance over the win, and how, Grey College is a fantastic school. It's just an incredible school, and with so much history, and I can't imagine how much pressure they have to play under every single time they step onto the rugby field. So he obviously mentioned in his post on Facebook that the win was dedicated to Caden Bowie. So just explain the significance of that and what it meant to you guys. And
well, I would say because we play with a why normally, like why we do the sport, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people didn't have that why going into any other game, but then Caden Bowie gave everyone a why pretty much. So we take every game, we play every game with Caden Bowie in our head, saying, listen, we're doing it for him.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, every game we go into, we do it for Caden Bowie.
Yeah.
So I would say the significance he played in that game was crazy, because it just brought us all together, you know what I mean?
And obviously, I don't know, I'm sure everyone saw it, but in Mr. Jackson's post, there was this rainbow over the scoreline. And I was like, that was almost like kind of crazy. It was almost like he was smiling down on you boys, and you made him proud. So just as a JP boy myself, you guys made us so proud that day. And it's awesome. The crazy thing for me was, so me and a couple of mates, one of my mates, Razor Kun, he obviously went to Jeppe as well, and we said, no, flip, there's so much buzz around you guys. We need to go watch these guys play. And we went to go watch you guys play at Keesfest. And I think the team was, let me just make sure, it was Brandwerk. The final score was 59-6. And I was saying to Ray on that day, usually there's obviously the two stands, right? You have the boys stand and you have the parents stand. And like, the boys stand is crazy. People are saying crazy things. There's no restrictions. You speak in your mind. And then the parents stand is not like that. Everyone's like watching you. But when you Oaks took to the field, it was just insanity. There was so much buzz around this team. And I remember, like, there were supporters from Bishops. The guy was shouting, I want your autograph. This kid's going to play for the Springboks. And he was shouting that for all the players on the field. And I was like, this is incredible how this team is just, it's almost like, it's like crazy to explain for a rugby team, especially at high school. But how do you guys deal with all the pressure now? Because I think it's undeniable that there is a bit of pressure on you guys with all so much early success in the season. So how do you as a team manage it, and how do you individually manage it?
Okay, so well, because our coach, Mr. Fenter,
Yeah,
amazing coach. He's told us, because obviously, like you've been saying, like the early success in a way, it's gonna be hard for us to like make sure it keeps going on in a way, like make sure that we keep winning and everything. So he just tells us we take every game like
in stride.
in stride in a way.
Yeah.
So we any school we play against is a top 10 school. No matter who we're playing against, they are top 10 school. We're gonna stick to the same structure we've been sticking to.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna keep playing how we normally play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say, like the early success is obviously nice, and schools are obviously gonna, I wouldn't say fear us now, but they are a bit nervous because we beat Great College. But they also, in another sense, they're like, okay, well,
we want to beat
beat
the school
that beat Great College.
100%.
So they're gonna bring it to us. So we just gotta keep our heads cool, stay humble, make sure everything's how it normally is, and we'll be perfectly fine.
It's awesome. I'm sure about that. So individually now, right? So I'm a massive fan in balance. I think you have to have balance in your life. And obviously with you first team rugby player, you're a student at Jeppe, you have a social life. How do you manage to find a balance between everything?
Even academics would.
Even academics.
I would say at school, our principal, Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
He's come in and the academics he's brought in is amazing. Like,
so can I just quickly say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
fine.
when I was at school, we never had 100% pass rates. And obviously with Mr. Jackson and the emphasis that he's brought on academics, you guys, we achieved that as a school. And it's just like, it's awesome to see. And even when I came to speak at the school last year, there's so much change in a positive way at Jeppe.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's like, I was so worried I was going to go back to the school and like boys weren't going to greet, and it just wasn't like that. It was like what I was at school, but times 10. It's just so awesome to see what he's done with the school. So like you were saying with the balance, carry on.
Yeah, so obviously Mr. Jackson, he's put in a very good academic structure. So I would say he's helped personally me like a lot just to manage my time, because there's teachers that even help. So we've got Mr. Smith. He does, when we do exams, he makes an exam timetable for us, so we know when to study and everything. So it's just that the structures put in place by everyone is perfect, and the schoolboys help each other. I don't know who's actually implemented it, but Mr. Jackson was probably told the boys, like the higher boys, like the guys with the good academics, they helped the boys that are struggling in a way. So I would just say everything that's implemented at JP from Mr. Jackson's point of view is amazing. It just helps me.
So what you're saying is like balance is almost, they help you find that balance.
Yeah,
and
they do.
That's incredible. So obviously you mentioned how much JP cares about its students and whatnot. So what in your mind separates JP from the other boys' schools like Kes and all the ones around Joburg and everywhere in South Africa, actually? What is it that separates? Because I always like, a question a lot of people ask me is like, if you have a son, would you send them to JP?
Yeah.
And I'm like, 100%. But it's kind of hard to explain to someone that wasn't at the school what separates JP from the other schools. So how would you go about explaining that? What in your mind?
I would say just the brotherhood and how everyone cares for each other. Like, genuinely, like sometimes there might be disagreements at school, but everyone knows what needs to be done in a way. So like everyone cares for each other. Like, I know what needs to be done by you, like the best for you, to be the best person like you can be. So I would say everyone holds each other like accountable. It's like just everyone cares, and it's really nice having that. When I know my other brother right there next to me, sitting next to me, is like, okay, listen, I want you to be the best person you can be. And everyone just, I feel like, does that at JP.
I think another thing with JP is like there's so much diversity, in a sense, like you can have someone sitting next to you whose parents are super wealthy, and then you can have another boy who's sitting next to you that has nothing. But it doesn't matter. You all one. You all wear the same blazer. We all sing the same war cries. It's a fantastic school. I honestly could not give more praise. And it's like, who else would I want then a Jeppe boy is my first
No.
guest. It's like, it's perfect. So yeah, back to the rugby questions, right? Who in your mind do you think is going to be your toughest opponent still to play this year, and why?
So, like I've said, we take every game as the same pretty much. Everyone's going to be tough. There's no easy game in first team level.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
I would say everyone, but if I had to say one team, next week, Afis is a big one. So, I would say them probably being the biggest, toughest opponents we're going to face.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember when I was at school, there was this thing called Affis fever. When
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
when you play Affis, everyone tends to get sick around that weekend because no one wants to play Affis.
Yeah, and I think that's changed now because
Yeah.
I feel like the boys have seen like, listen, we've beaten Great College, so I feel like every boy in JP now is like, okay, well, my first team can do it, surely I can do it. You know what I mean? So
That's crazy. What a good answer
Yeah.
that is. Okay, and then over the years, right? You said that you've played first team now for 3 years. So who in your mind has been your favorite opponent to play against on the rugby field, and why?
I would say Kez. Last year, home game, it was so surreal in a way. It was amazing. Normally I'm a calm guy. I don't get nervous at
Yeah.
all. I wasn't nervous in the beginning because I didn't see the crowd. Like, I saw no one. I was in my own space, in my own bubble. I was in the change room, and then as soon as I walked out and I saw everyone, I was like, "Yo, this is big." So the first 5 minutes of that game, I was stressed. I was nervous. I made mistakes, but then realized, listen, you can actually do this. And at the end of the day, we won. So yeah.
That's awesome. No, the KSJP fixture is, you have to actually be there to understand it.
Yeah,
It's just
100%.
awesome. So yeah, we've obviously, something I must say, when I messaged you, it really stood out for me. I asked you, does your dad want to come with for the interview, and you said yes, and you actually said you really want your dad here because he's had such a big significance on your success in rugby, and it's unique for someone of your age to give so much credit to your parents. Like, you kind of want to be cool and, I did this all by myself. So you obviously mentioned your brother and your father. So just explain the significance that and the role that they've played in making you the person you are today.
Yeah, no, I give full credit to them. I won't lie to you. They are amazing. They everything for me. I would say, okay, let me start with my mom. So my mom, she was more of the caring side of the family. She
Yeah.
Like, even if I had a bad game, she would still come give me a hug, say, "Listen, Matt, don't stress about it. Like, you'll do better next time."
Yeah.
So she was more of the caring side, and she would help with academics and all of that. My father, on the other hand, he would drive me. He drives me everywhere. I have early morning practices at 5 o'clock in the morning. He would wake up for me. He would take me there. He genuinely only wants the best for me. Like, a man, he only wants the best for me. Like, there's some people out there, like, they want the best for you, but like,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
But yeah, no, he
100%.
genuinely only wants the best for me. So he does everything in his power to do that. He'll skip work sometimes to take me to practices. He'll do a lot. And he's made me the man I am today, in a way.
And how they must have just been like so proud of you after. I know I keep going back to the Great College win, and I'm sorry for all the Great College boys watching this, but it is a massive thing for us as Jeppe old boys and whatever. So how did they feel after that game? You said you went for dinner. Wow, what was that like?
No, it was nice. The happiness I saw on his face, he couldn't stop smiling. He also kept on telling me how he can't believe it. He doesn't understand how proud I am, like he is for me, in a way. So I was like, it just made me so happy as well. Like, just knowing, yeah, just seeing a smile on his face and everyone being happy. It was so unreal. It was so nice.
It's awesome. Okay, so you can see, obviously you guys at home can't see, but I have Conor McGregor posters everywhere in this room. So he's my sporting icon, and everyone who went to school with me knows I don't shut up about Conor McGregor. But who is your sporting icon and why?
So, I would say there's a person that stood out for me. I wouldn't say he's famous, but he played a big role in who I am today. No, his name is Muzi Manike.
Yeah.
He played first in rugby 2018 and 2017. Yeah, no, because of my older brother, he was good friends with my older brother. So he'd come home with us sometimes, and he just the way he like, how do I say, like, he just, the way he brought himself to me, like, just the caringness, the good person he was. Like, that guy, he was the star of 2018. Like, everyone knew him. But the way he spoke to me, like, just the humbleness he showed me and everything. And he was an amazing rugby player as well. I don't know if you've...
Yeah, so it's crazy you say that. I'm so happy
Yeah.
you said that because it's the truth. Like, he was just, I was obviously at school. He was my head boy in 2018. And like you say, he was just the most accredited boy you could possibly think
Yeah.
of. He's playing SA schools rugby. He was just fantastic. But something that stuck up for me, there's actually two things. After every game, Muzi used to sweep the change
Yeah,
room.
100%.
And to me, that's like, it's just crazy to have so much humility. And there's no need for it because
Yeah.
you are the superstar in the school and whatever. And it's very unique. And another thing that stood out for me, I don't think a lot of people know this. Obviously, if you weren't at Jeppe, you won't know this. But he didn't wear any scrolls on his blazer. And that stuck out for me. And I tried to also do that because I looked up to him so much. I was like, that is a real hero right
Yeah,
there.
literally.
To have everything in your hands, to be this hero at the school, everyone knows you, everyone loves you, but you're just a normal guy, and you obviously he knows that everyone's looking to him, and he just set such a good example. It's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
awesome.
No, he's... Yeah.
So yeah, we obviously, you said that your main passion is rugby, and obviously I really appreciate that. But what do you do in your free time, Matt? You have to do something in your free time.
Free time, it's all rugby pretty much. But, like, no, I would say I spend a lot of time with my family, try and spend a lot of time with my family, make sure, yeah, I have time with them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I play indoor cricket sometimes. Yeah, I try. And, yeah, rest, relax, recover,
Yeah.
main things. But I don't do much other than try and be with my family and yeah.
And if any of your teachers are watching, you obviously study super
Oh,
hard in your free
no,
time.
of course. I have to do that. Projects,
Goes without saying.
everything. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's a given. It's a given.
Okay, so Matt, a few more questions left here. What are you looking? You obviously have a few months left at Jeppe and whatever else, but what are you looking to accomplish before you leave Jeppe? What is the one thing that unless you've already done it, what is the one thing that if you do this and you leave Jeppe, you're like, I have no regrets. I'm happy. I can close that chapter of my life and I'm super happy with everything.
I haven't. Yeah, I wouldn't really. I would say I've accomplished most of the things. I'm prefect. I'm leading the school in a good way, or the best possible way. I think is like I could lead it.
Yeah.
Head of house, trying to make sure my house is doing what it
House
runs.
plays.
Yeah, house plays coming up. Yeah. But I wouldn't say I have like a specific thing. I've obviously first in rugby was a goal. I've set like many goals. Obviously, being a leader.
Yeah.
Being head of house.
That you've
playing
achieved.
first that I've achieved.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice. And obviously, I do want to do well in academics. I want to make sure, like, for varsity, I want to make sure that my academics are good enough to get me into varsity. So 100%. I would say I want to do well in academics now.
Yeah.
I want to like make sure I focus on academics and get all that right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember we had a teacher, I think it was actually Mr. Jackson. It could have been Mr. Lethan, but he always used to say to us, like, if you get to matric and you don't feel like you're ready to leave Jeppe, they've done something.
100%.
And I think that was so true. Like, you've done everything. Now it's time to move on to the next part of your life. And that's, super.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your plans post Jeppe? What are you looking to accomplish after Jeppe? Varsity, is that in the question? Are you looking to play club rugby? What is it?
Well, obviously, I'd like to go to varsity. We'll see how that goes. Wanna bet UJ or whoever, honestly, genuinely.
Yeah. Whoever's watching.
I'll take anything. Hopefully, play for Union. I wouldn't say club rugby because I would like to play for Union, whichever Union as well. But yeah, also get a degree. I would like to make sure I get a degree. Rugby can be taken away from you really quickly. You know, anything could happen. So having something behind you is perfect.
Yeah.
So get a degree and play rugby.
Awesome. are you looking to pursue rugby as a career? Is that something you want to do, or do you have other aspirations, or is it all going to be rugby as long as you can play rugby, as long as you fit and whatnot?
I would say rugby is the end goal. Obviously, just wanna just play rugby. Honestly, even I want to stay here. I don't want to go overseas just
Yeah.
yet. Obviously, overseas could be in the long run.
Yeah.
I would like to overseas, but I wouldn't say I have thought about doing anything else. Like rugby is my passion.
Yeah.
I only want to play rugby.
And that's awesome that you mentioned going overseas. Like, so when I was in grade 8, we had like one of the best Jeppe rugby teams, probably second only to you guys. And we had the likes of Wandisile Similani, whose brother's obviously
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
So when I was in matric, he was in my boarding house. So it's so cool to see how he's grown. And we had Achieva Daimani, who I saw was yesterday
Yeah,
at
he
the
was
rugby,
he was at the game yesterday.
taking pictures
He
like
was,
a superstar
yeah.
that he is.
Exactly.
And we also had Tyron Green, who played in that team. So it was just a crazy team. And he's obviously doing incredible things at the
Harlequins,
Harlequins.
yeah.
So awesome to see that. So yeah, the next question, what do you think? You said you wanted to stay in South Africa, and obviously South Africa has a massive rugby culture. What in your mind makes rugby so special in South Africa?
I would just say the way it brings everyone together. Like once we won the World Cup,
Yeah.
all I saw is everyone posting with each other. It was like we were just one. We were
Yeah.
one nation. There was
Even our
no difference.
differences,
Exactly.
yeah,
There was
100.
no differences at all. All the negatives were set aside. It was
Yeah.
only positive. Like that was so nice to see as well. Like genuinely, everyone was one. So yeah, no.
And I think it's so funny you say that, because like I completely agree with you, and it almost reminded me of my time at Jeppe. Like I'll never forget when we won. Everyone, we went on the back of the bucky and we drove like through the streets and whatever, and there were so many people doing that. And it didn't matter your color, it didn't matter how much money you had. Everyone was whistling at each other, and it just reminded me so much of my time at Jeppe. And obviously, you're overlooking everyone's differences and just
Yeah.
embracing diversity.
Exactly.
Okay, so Matt, looking back on it, obviously you said your time at Jeppe is almost coming to a close. What is the best memory that you have of Jeppe? Obviously off the rugby field.
I would say the first thing that came to mind actually was house plays last year. Um, I'm terrible at speaking like to an audience. Public speaking is not my thing. So it was new for me. And I had like a few lines actually, quite too many that I'd like, but I had to say it. But it was nice. I really enjoyed it. I was the king, and I sat on a throne and I moved people around.
Kind
I
of
told
hard
people
not
what
to
do.
enjoy that.
No, exactly. No, it was amazing. It was really nice. Like I had a lot of power, so like it just felt real sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I could, yeah. But it was really enjoyable.
And we heard someone told us in secret that this year's house play is also going to be quite interesting. You're going to be rocking a Speedo, so tickets are to be sold if you're looking to buy.
100%.
Okay. So Matt, these are my concluding questions that I'm looking to ask every guest that comes onto the Faithful Chat podcast. So the first one is, in your mind, right? What has been your biggest accomplishment yet, and why? Why was it so significant to you?
I would say obviously being great college. That could be probably my biggest accomplishment. Yeah, being great college. It was really surreal. It was amazing.
Yeah. And I love it when you, like, I know we're emphasizing this win, but it just speaks to how great of a school great college
No,
is.
100%.
That to beat a school, it like literally, it's like your highlights of your year. And just watching the highlights as well, I was like, this is crazy. And I wasn't even in there. So it's just fantastic. And it speaks volumes to how good great college is as
Yeah.
a school. So Matt, that's obviously been your highest moment, your biggest moment. What has been your lowest moment so far, and what did you learn from it?
My lowest moment was probably starting out in 13 rugby. So there's like a whole story behind it. I started playing rugby early, but played rugby grade 7. Wasn't allowed to play at primary school. So then obviously also couldn't play grade 8 at JP because I can't play. I'm in primary school,
Yeah.
can't play high school.
Yeah.
So I missed the whole of the grade 8 season. Missed the whole of grade 9 season because of COVID.
Yeah.
So now it's grade 10. It's senior. It opens now for me. So coaches didn't know me for a bar soap. I was no one pretty much.
For real?
Yeah, they've never seen me play rugby in my life.
What?
Which is understandable. So I went into the trials. did well at trials,
Yeah.
but obviously they've never seen me play. I'm a liability in a way because they've never seen me. So started out in thirds, and that was like my lowest moment. I genuinely, I just felt like I had every reason to give up in a way, but I kept pushing, kept trying, and I kept on playing. And then obviously I played like 3 games of third team. Then I played second team, and then in the same season played like 3 games of second team. Then played first team.
Bro, that is incredible. I'm so happy you told me that because, like, so I have to ask you, when you were playing in that third team rugby, if I had to tell you a few years from now you'd be scoring 17 points against Grey College and that solidifies the win, first time ever in Jeppe's history, would you have believed me if I said
No,
that?
never.
To you?
I would never have believed you.
That
No.
is crazy. Do you see, like, it just shows you, like, it doesn't matter where you are in your life, just keep trusting the process,
Yeah.
keep showing up because you never know what's in store for you. Okay, last 3 questions I have for you. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? And who said it to you?
Okay, so my dad told me, it's pretty much never give up. Like what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I started out in thirds, and my dad kept on saying, just keep trusting the process. I kept telling him how I don't want to play rugby anymore. Like, I feel so hard done by and everything. But he was like, listen, Matt, just keep trusting the process, never give up. And I took that. I was like, listen, okay, let me just go to one more training. And then that training went well. And let me go to one more game. And that game went well. So just genuinely never give up, and you'll be fine.
And the thing is, it sounds so cliche, like, oh, never give up.
Yeah.
But it really is that simple.
Literally,
As
it
long
is
as
that
you
simple.
don't give up, something is going to eventually happen. And, like, obviously with the running and stuff, when I was running all those marathons last year, that's something I just had to keep reminding myself, like, yes, I'm going to run today. I'm not going to get the win today, but I can most certainly get the loss if I don't show up.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's so important. A bit of a tougher question. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
So, I don't have the worst piece of advice. Like, I try and take everything positively. So,
Yeah.
even if it's not the greatest of advice, I'll still take it in a positive way. I'll never take it in a negative way. Well, I'll try not to take it in a negative way. But yeah, I always take things positively. So, just even if it's not the greatest of advice, I'll make it into the greatest of advice in a way. So, yeah.
So almost like take a negative and use it as motivation.
Yes,
too.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. And for this one, look into that camera and tell us, what advice do you wish to give to others?
Be a good guy. Just the way you portray yourself to others means a lot. Like, if you can be a good guy, trust me, other people aren't going to find a way to have a reason to not like you. I would just say keep being you and trust the process in a way. Just, yeah, be a good guy.
Such an awesome answer. Matt, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That concludes our first episode. And yeah, guys, see you next time. Sweet, Matt. That was flipping awesome.
That was great.
That was really sick.
I feel alive. I know inside that you would take it all